Good morning. For today, our lesson is based on peripheral devices. Last week, we talked about computer software, and we said a software is any set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. We also listed the types of computer software. We said the two main types of computer software are the system software and application software. We said that application softwares are programs that are installed on a computer to perform a specific task or a single task on the computer. We also said the system softwares are the softwares that helps to control and optimize the operation of the computer or the operations of the computer. We made mention of operating systems as an example of system softwares. We also gave an example of application softwares as Zoomer. We said most of the applications we install on our computers are application softwares. So something like maybe Beacon, Microsoft Office Word, FIFA, Zoomer, all the games we play on our computers are examples of application softwares. For today, we'll just base on peripheral devices. We'll see what peripheral devices are and how they work or what they are being used for. So at the end of this lesson, you should be familiar with peripheral devices and you should be able to give examples of devices that are classified as peripheral devices. Now let's look at what a peripheral device or devices are. Peripheral devices are devices that are attached to the computer to enhance its performance. This means that they are components that are being attached to the computer to help the computer to perform other tasks. Let's take you have a computer in your house and you want to make a hard copy of a typed document on the computer. With the computer alone, we cannot make a printout or a hard copy of that information which has been saved on the computer. So in this way, we need a device to be attached to the computer so that the information, the document we have, can be printed out. So what do you think would be the necessary device to connect to the computer to make hard copies of documents? Okay, we need a printer. So the printer becomes a peripheral device because it's a device which has been connected to the computer to make printouts of documents or hard copies of documents. And this device, when connected to the computer, enhances the performance of the computer. That is, it helps the computer in making hard copies. So that's what we mean when we say peripheral devices. They are devices that are attached or connected to the computer to enhance its performance or to help the computer in performing other tasks. Now let's look at some of the examples of peripheral devices. And before we look at these devices, we can also say that peripheral devices are also known as auxiliary devices. So whenever you hear of auxiliary devices and peripheral devices, they are the same. Peripheral devices are the same as auxiliary devices. Now let's look at the first device. We have the printer. Everyone knows what a printer is. A printer is an output device which is used to produce hard copies of documents. That are soft copies from computers. So the printer is a device. Its main function is to produce hard copies of documents. When you say hard copies, we are referring to anything that has been printed on a paper. So when you have an image printed on a paper, a text printed on paper, we refer to that paper as a hard copy. The ones that we have on the computer, which are about to be printed or saved on the computer, are what we refer to as soft copies. So whenever you type on a computer and you save on a computer, that document becomes a soft copy. When a document is being printed out, then we can call it a hard copy. So the printer is the main device used in producing hard copies of documents. Now let's have a look at how the printer looks like. We have this to be the printer, and as we can see, we have sheets over here or printouts over here. This is what we call hard copies. All these images were printed through the printer by the use of the computer. Now our next device, we have the scanner. The scanner is also another peripheral device, and this device is also an input device which is used to send information or data in the form of images into the computer. So assuming you have a picture and you want a copy of that picture on your computer or any document on your computer, you just put the picture on the scanner and scan it. It will take that information and save it on the computer as an image. So the printer is an input device used to send data in the form of images into the computer. Now let's have a look at how the scanner looks like. So this is how the scanner looks like. It has a laser below. So this is the place where we normally put our document for it to be scanned. When a document is being placed on the laser surface, then you close it before you click on either copy or scan to get your soft copy on the computer. And the next one, we have webcam. The full meaning of webcam is web camera. Web camera. So this is also another peripheral device. It's a camera, and as we know, cameras are used in taking pictures and recording of videos. So the webcam is also an input device that is used to either snap or take pictures or videos and send them or save them on the computer. So it's an input device used to snap or take pictures or videos and send them into the computer where it will be saved. We can also use them for video calls. Okay, when we are connected to the internet, we can use the webcam in making video calls or conference calls. Okay, so let's look at how the webcam also looks like. So this is what we call a webcam. We have different sizes. Some are even smaller than this. So we have the camera over here. Then we have a cable which will be connected to the system unit. So this is how a webcam looks like. And the webcam is also a peripheral device. Now our next device is the microphone. Yes, you can also connect microphone to the computer. So the microphone is an input device that is used to send audio data into the computer. So whenever you use a microphone, you can send audio voice or audio data into the computer where you can listen to through the speakers. So the microphone is also a peripheral or auxiliary device. Now let's have a look at how a microphone looks like. Okay, we have this one to be the microphone. At times you can attach this to the head and talk through the mic over here. Then we have this one to be an example of a microphone. Okay, so this is how a microphone looks like. The next one, we have the projector. The projector. This device is mostly seen at conference centers, churches, and so on. And the main function of this device is to project images or videos onto a large screen. So the projector is also an output device used to project images or videos onto a large screen. When you go to cinemas, you can have this type of device being used there in watching of movies and so on. Now let's have a look at how the projector also looks like. So this is what we call a projector. Whenever it's being connected to the computer, we have whatever appearing on the desktop being projected through this slot or this design over there. Okay, whenever it's being connected and you try to project the images passes through this hole. Okay, we have a lens over there, so it passes here and the rays gets onto a large surface where the image is being displayed. Okay, so this is what we call a projector. Okay, the projector too is a peripheral device or an auxiliary device. And the next one, we have what we call plotter. The plotter works the same as the printer, but the difference between these two devices is that for the printer, it's used to make copies on smaller sheets or smaller size of papers, but for the plotter, it's used to make prints or hard copies on large size papers. So the plotter too is an output device used in producing hard copies of information on a large size paper or a large surface. Now this is how the plotter looks like. Okay, it's also used in making hard copies, but as we can see, the paper we have in the plotter is bigger than the ones we have been using in the printer. Okay, so this is how the plotter looks like. Now our next device, we have the speaker. The speaker is also an output device used to give out sound or audio sound from the computer, and the speaker too is a peripheral device. As we said, they are devices which are connected to the computer to enhance its performance. Even the keyboard and the mouse are also considered as peripheral devices. So this is how a speaker looks like. Okay, and I hope most of you are familiar with this device. Okay, this is what we call a speaker. Now the next one, we have what we call joystick. Joystick. The joystick is an input device and at the same time a game controller. So here we can say that all game controllers are examples of peripheral devices. So game pads, light gun and the rest, they are all auxiliary devices or peripheral devices. And the main function of this device is that it helps in playing of games, or it is used in playing of games. Let's have a look at how the joystick looks like. So we have here a picture of a joystick. So this is how a joystick looks like, and this device is used in playing of games. It's used in playing of games. We'll end our lesson here and continue next week, Thursday. But before you leave, let's go over our lesson again. We said peripheral devices are devices that are connected to the computer to enhance its performance. And we said peripheral devices are also known as auxiliary devices. Some of the examples of peripheral devices are what we mentioned in our lesson. We made mention of the printer, the plotter, the webcam, the scanner, the joystick, the speaker, keyboard, mouse, and so on. So all these are devices that are classified as peripheral devices. This is your assignment. That's assignment number 7. We have the first question to be, what are peripheral devices? So you write the definition for peripheral devices. Then 2, give 5 examples of auxiliary devices. Give 5 examples of auxiliary devices. So auxiliary devices, as we know, is the same as peripheral devices. We will end our lesson here and continue next week, Thursday. Bye.